So, Kenya, I'm so glad you're able to come in today. It's great to see you again.
You too.
I see a smile on your face.
I'm a little bit better.
Okay,
I
great.
feel a little bit better.
Great. So glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, you filled out your ORS for me.
Yes.
Why don't we just talk through that and just kind of see where you're at with it.
Okay.
So, individually, you're rating it like a 7 or so, would you say?
I'd say a 7. Maybe I'm into like 6.5.
Okay.
6.5, 7.
Okay. So, what specifically has helped you be about a 6.5?
I think like just finally realizing like why I feel certain ways about myself, like and kind of being honest about it. I think that kind of like I feel more in touch, I guess, if that makes sense, like with that part of myself.
We'll just use some like
I just like I guess being honest with myself makes me feel like I know more of who I am. So I think that's why I feel like I'm doing a little bit better.
Yeah.
Individually.
So can you tell me about a time this week where you were honest with yourself and you were able to see?
I think like my whole thing is like just trying to find like my voice and just feel like I'm not such like a passive like person, because I don't feel like I am, but then I do at the same time, like when I don't say no. But this week I was just honest about it, and like I feel like I noticed when I did it this week, like my dad, he had called me or whatever, and I don't go home that often, so he kind of made me feel bad about that. He was kind of like, well, you need to come home, like you haven't seen all of us in a while. But I don't go home because it's like a nuisance. Like I literally have to go to 5 different houses, and I don't want to do that. Plus, I'm usually not off on the weekends, so if I come, I want to relax and not drive all these places. But yeah, he was kind of making me feel bad about it, and instead of telling him that, I was just like, I didn't say anything. So in my head, I was like, okay, here you go again. You could have voiced like how you felt about something, but you didn't. I kind of beat myself up for it, but I was like, I mean, I noticed it. Like I don't know how much that counts for, but like I don't know. I feel like every time I notice it, I'm like, okay, well, this is who you. It's almost like I'm like, this is who Kenya is, I guess.
Right. So maybe you don't need to beat yourself up about it. Or maybe
it's just so hard.
Yeah.
Especially when like you feel like I don't know. It's always like the whole be a strong woman thing, and I feel like a strong woman is like she speaks what's on her mind. She like can openly voice what's wrong with her, but I don't really do that. Sometimes I'm like, okay, well, this is what I feel like I should be, but I'm not.
So who's a strong woman in your life that you look up to?
I have to say my mom and grandma.
Like, and what does it look like whenever they speak up for themselves? Speak up for their self-care?
They don't normally do it in the way I would.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to do it in the way they do it.
Okay.
It's more so like, I don't want to say intimidate. It doesn't intimidate me, but I feel like it's intimidating to like the men in their life, because they're like overpowering.
Okay.
Like I don't necessarily want to be overpowering, but I want to feel like I have a voice.
Yeah.
In some ways.
So I wonder, is there strength in not doing what you've seen done, and not, to use your word, like being overpowering about it? So even though the choice that you're making is not one that you're feeling like is true to who you want to be and who you're becoming.
Yeah.
But you're also choosing to not be overpowering and just, well, Dad, laying it out there.
Yeah. I mean, because, like, I don't know, I kind of see, like, the males that have been in my life, like my dad and my stepdad, I view them as passive. But it's like I'm calling myself passive, and that's what I see as passive. I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
But like I don't want to talk down to them either.
Right.
It's just I feel like I'm like not being honest when I don't tell them how I feel about them.
Absolutely.
So I mean, but I think just knowing that kind of makes me feel better, but I'm still kind of like, I don't know.
Well, it's not like it's a skill that's just gonna appear. You know, it's something that you're developing. I think you're totally right, and in working and recognizing maybe there's another way right now.
Yeah,
that's that first step. So maybe give yourself, a little credit for that.
I'll try. It's hard.
Right. I know. It's definitely progress.
Yeah, thank you.
So then this ties in definitely with the family. Is that at about 6.5 too?
Yeah, it's probably the same.
Okay. It makes me curious as I'm thinking through everything you've shared. Have you ever been able to communicate, for instance, with your dad, the time that you were upset? In any form, have you been able to do that?
I feel like I may have done it like in subtle ways. I can't really remember. I mean, we had like more of a relationship like from when I was a baby till I was like 4 until he like left the house. So I can't totally remember how like my childhood went with him, but I feel like as I like went through middle school and high school and maybe college, it's like I've done it in maybe a subtle way. Like I remember one time he was supposed to come down and see me, and he didn't. So he kept asking me to drive there, and I would just be like, the only thing I would say was like, "Well, are you gonna give me gas money?" That was my way of saying like, I don't want to go.
Right.
Like I feel like you should come down here. So I'll say, "Are you gonna give me gas money?" Because I know you're not.
Right.
So then I don't have to go.
Right.
But it's kind of like, it's like you're still not being direct about it.
Yeah.
You're like going around the bush. But I feel like that's one time.
Yeah.
Where I felt like I was like, at least I got something kind of off my chest with him.
Yeah.
It's never been like direct though.
So how did he receive that?
I don't even remember him really saying anything. Like, so I just remember I ended up not going, and he didn't come to see me. You know what I mean? So like, whatever. It's kind of like it's like everything's swept under the rug. Like with us, it's like okay, I'm just gonna avoid that question. We won't bring it up again.
And then, like you had shared last session, sometimes that means you have anger. It gets bottled up, and then comes out in the places you don't want it to.
And that happens a lot. Because, like, I feel like I'm holding so much stuff in, and then I get mad at the wrong person. Like, it's not directed to the person I'm mad at, I just can't, I feel like I can't be direct with everybody else. Or the person I'm actually upset with, so it comes out on other people.
Right.
Like one time, this actually happened this week, but, I was trying to pay overages on my rent, like I had to pay for water, like I went over on water. So obviously they only want you to pay with money order, which pisses me off. That's an inconvenience, So Wayne got the money order, but I made a mistake, so I decided to cross it out, like with one line. But I called my leasing office, and they're like, "No, we can't take that." So I'm literally like cursing her out on the phone, like, "What do you mean you can't take this?" Like I wasn't mad at her. It wasn't logical to be mad at her. It was something else. Yeah. It just came out like I don't know.
And what was that? Something else.
I was mad again at my dad. It's always like he was trying to basically say I don't come home all the time. So and I wasn't able to be direct with him. So it ended up coming out on her.
So if your dad were sitting beside you right now,
Mm-hmm.
and a miracle happened, and from the moment he walked in, he could receive whatever you needed to say. And he was going to have unconditional, positive regard for you no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
What would you want to say to him?
I feel like I want to say so much.
Yeah, take your time.
It would really be like, well, I guess I'll start by saying like, or preface it by saying like, my mom and grandma really like influenced a lot of what like me and my siblings feel and think. Because they basically raised us. So I got a lot of messages from them saying he's a deadbeat, like he doesn't do much for you guys. But I didn't really feel that way. I still don't really feel that way. I just feel like he could do better. If I could talk to him, I feel like he could do better with just being open to communication, and that would make me feel more comfortable to talk to him. And also, I want to ask him, like, why couldn't he help us out more financially? Like, I'm not saying, like, he wasn't even ever on child support, but, like, you didn't really give anything. You know what I mean? So maybe was something going on with you where you couldn't help us out financially? Like, because I feel like you're going to be a parent. That's important.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you do that? But yet you want me to come see you all the time. Come on, like I need gas money.
Right.
You know, just like when we were younger, we needed you to buy us food, and like so I would just tell him. I want to ask those questions, like why couldn't you support us more financially, and like what was going on during that time, really. Like I wouldn't want to tell him he's a deadbeat. He didn't do anything for me because I don't really feel that way. I feel like when we did see you, it's because you wanted to see us, you know? Like, I feel like if you were a deadbeat, we just wouldn't even know who you are.
Right.
But, like, he calls me all the time. Like, he tries to keep in contact even when I'm, like, going away. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, why would they call him a deadbeat? I definitely don't think that. I just want to know what happened. Why you can't support us more financially. Because that's, like, at least for me, that's a big thing. Because financially, I don't know. If you're helping financially, that means you want us to be stable.
Right.
Why would you want us to be like not stable? Right. That's pretty much what I would say.
All right. Well, turn to him.
Turn to him.
Yeah, just like he's there.
Okay.
Say it. Say everything. Just like he's there. Like he's there.
This is so hard. It's only hard because I'm always worried about hurting his feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I feel like I'm not even saying anything like super sad.
Well, remember, our miracle is that he can take it.
He can take it. So, Dad, like maybe you know that mom and grandma like didn't think you were a good dad, didn't think you were a real man, or thought you were a deadbeat. I never felt that way. I just kind of wish you would have helped more financially. And I don't want to sound selfish, but like it was really hard for them to like try to support us financially by themselves. And I feel like since you weren't present in the house, like the least you could have done was I don't know, send some money like to help them, especially since you weren't like required to pay child support. Kind of felt like you didn't really care to help us out. That's what I would say. Because I feel like he still kind of acts like it.
Right. But the truth is, there's this thing hanging.
And I never say it to him. Yeah. And then I feel like that makes our conversations like way less genuine. Because it's like I'm holding on to like, this huge thing that he should know that I just haven't been able to.
Yeah. If you were going to have that conversation with him, would you be okay with it being over the phone, or what would you want that to look like?
With him, I feel like he wouldn't get it over the phone. Well, if he got it, if he was able to get it.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't do it in person.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, like, he and my brother, like, were totally cut off for, like, years. Like, they didn't talk at all. But now they're, like, they talk all the time, And it's because my brother was honest with him. I feel like about how he really felt. So I'm like, oh, maybe if I just do that, I'll feel like I'm not so distant from him. But, I don't know, I guess I just gotta be ready or something like that.
Yeah. Something to think about.
Yeah. Especially
since you mentioned about your brother. What kind of things did he have to say?
From what? Now, my brother didn't tell me he talked to him about this. My dad actually told me.
Okay.
So he was basically saying, like, he was like, my brother told him, he felt like he wasn't really there. And because my brother was surrounded by all females, like I'm pretty sure he wanted, like, my dad around more physically. So he basically said that. And then my dad was telling me how he disagrees with it, which is fine, but I'm hoping he was like, not trying to argue with how my brother felt. But I mean, if all of that, if I wasn't, like, if it was a miracle and my dad was not going to argue with me and tell me I'm wrong for feeling like that, then I'd probably cry like I just did. But I would be able to tell him at least, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
I'm really proud of you and the work you've done.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yes. Change is hard.
Especially when it's like, I don't know, coming from trying to express feelings and stuff and be vulnerable. It's just like not something most people want to do. But I really don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. So.
Don't want to, or?
I feel like I want to. It's like how if you really want something, it's almost like you feel it right here. Like, oh my God, I need to do this. But it's like something stops me, It's like something's like, no, why would you go there? Like, just be like here. Don't be like this emotional, like crazy person. So that's what makes it like difficult.
So that term, emotional crazy person, is there anybody that fits that in your life?
Not in my family, because everybody is like making sure that they stay here all the time.
Okay.
But I mean, I did have a friend, like, a roommate I had, like, through college. Oh my God, it was like, I was like, this girl is crazy, but she was just emotional. But I found that really weird and annoying. Yeah. Because I was trying to be here all the time. Right. So it's hard to be like this. Or not even like this, just like.
To allow it to come out.
Yeah. Just allow it to peek through just a little bit. But, yeah, I definitely think I want be that emotional person, like, or just like be able to express emotional things without feeling like, oh my God, this is so shameful. Like, I cried, That's a big deal.
Right. I think there's strength in crying.
Yeah. I'm trying to get there, like, I don't feel as bad as I, like, did earlier when I first started seeing you about crying. It's like, I was like, no, I'm not crying.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. But now it's like to the point where I can't help but cry. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, this needs to come out.
It's happening.
You said, yeah. It's going to come out.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Either going to be tears or you're going to be furious at somebody. So which one you want to do?
Right. And the other part of that is you've also been laughing this session.
True.
So you get to experience the joy that comes with having some space for this right here.
Yeah. You're right.
You're doing so great.
Thank you so much. This has really been helping me.
I'm so glad. Well, as we move forward, just continue to process what we've been talking about, and we'll check back in next week. You may remember last session we did the session rating scale, and so if you could just fill that out, just as we discussed each thing, just however you feel.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Kenya.
No
Thank you for coming in today.
No problem.
Have a safe drive home.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah.